Out. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Our Monday call is in session. I hope you are having a fantastic start to your week. And if you're not, guys, we're going to help elevate it. All right. And so, for sure, we're going to be talking on a Monday. It's our Money Monday call. As I like to say, on the Monday, we talk finance. We talk about the income that one can make with this amazing company. But the star of the show, without any question of a doubt, is not me. It's not Simone. It's not Natalia. It's not Augusta. No, it is this product that you're going to be introduced to for the first time if it's your first time seeing this, and for your umpteenth time if you're seeing this. I never get bored of sharing this amazing product, my friends, because it's done so many great things to not just me but other people that you may know about who are on this call. So it says here an opportunity of a lifetime has arrived. And my friends, when I saw this slides back in January of this year, I had no idea that this product will go on to change my life. I mean, you might have heard that people coin that phrase, oh my goodness, this changed my life. No, this is for real. Real changing life experience that happened when I got my hands on this product in February. And so I really, want you to just pay close attention, lock off any distractions, because this information was really the catalyst for me having some of the best health I've had in ages. And so I say, rather than an opportunity of a lifetime, it's a product of a lifetime, my friends. So let's look at this. Our modern day lifestyle it is challenging. Dare to say, if you watch the video I kicked off the meeting with, then you'll understand that we are living in a very toxic, acidic environment when it comes to our food. Now, some of you guys, you wouldn't even look at one of those fast food joints. Just the thought of it would just make you, want to do a moonwalk out of that place, right? No, we're talking about two different sides of the coin here. You got that side of the fence, right, where you've got these food joints all around the place, very acidic in nature, and it causes its own challenges. And then you've got the other flip side of the coin where people are very selective about what they put into their bodies, and they wouldn't even, the thought, like I said, the thought of having anything acidic is just not on their radar. They want to get their kale, their barleys, the wheatgrass, the whole nine, spinach, and juice it up and everything, right? But even that's under attack, guys. It's sprayed to death. They're doing all sorts of stuff to the soil, pesticides, the whole 9 yards. I mean, these are just some of the things we know about. So without a doubt, there is a major challenge to our day-to-day lifestyle, which is causing massive disease of the body. Now, let's talk about that. This gentleman here is so critical important to the conversation. I don't even know if that was a proper sentence. My English school teacher would slap me sideways. But anyway, I don't even know if that was a proper sentence. But all I'm going to say to you is that's not important. What is important is this gentleman on this screen, over 100 years ago, Otto Heinrich Warburg, he won a Nobel Prize for his research into the primary cause and prevention of cancer. My friends, he did this over 100 years ago. And there's two forms of what he found. Yeah, not me. These are his words. In his work, The Metabolism of Tumors, and he demonstrated that all forms, not some, not several, all forms of cancer develop due to two basic conditions. That's acidosis, acidity of the blood, and hypoxia, lack of oxygen. Now, we're still talking about this very same thing 100 years later, right? Cancerous tissues are acidic tissues and healthy ones are alkaline tissues. That was what his thesis was about. Get your body in an alkaline state and you will help your body fight off the dangers and the after effect of your body being in a diseased state. And that's all it is, my friends. So how can we get our body to that state? I'm glad you asked, because we're going to show you a way, my friends, which helps the body do what the body's designed to do. The other thing that we have a massive problem with, and God knows there's a long, long laundry list of challenges that are out there. But if we can deal with these two major things I'm telling you about tonight, we are in a really good shape. So the effects of free radicals, like anything, guys, our bodies, our cells, it's all that yin yang. There's certain components of it that needs to be in the body, but you have too much of that, then there's a problem, right? So again, we're going to be talking about oxygenation. It's so important. I didn't even realize how important, how critical important having oxygen in your cells, in your bloodstream. And when you don't get it, what happens? What happens to the body? Well, one incident here is this isolated oxygen atom called a free radical. And so too much of that, you have a harmful situation. So, you know, the one on the left is cool, it's calm, the cell is doing exactly what it's designed to do, it's healthy. Now, when you have a breakdown of that, you're going to end up with your cells being totally obliterated. And then those after effects, you know, we don't feel disease, we don't feel the pain of disease until things have happened that we don't see at the time, at the point of it happening, which is why a lot of times, you know, a lot of times we go and, you know, get treatment, and the treatment is just for the symptoms of what's going on in your body. It doesn't actually deal with the cell issue of your cells breaking down. Got to get to the root of it, right? So the first research here that was done was back in 1954. So again, this isn't just overnight information. This has been going on for decades, a long time before most of us were twinkle in our parents' eyes. This information was out there. So we're going to attack and talk about two major things on this call, which is, you know, reducing the body's acidity and reducing the free radicals in our body. So I want you to get to understand what's happening here. This video is going to introduce you to the concept of magnetized water. And I'll tell you a little joke afterwards if you can take it. 1 second.
When we are thirsty, we fill a glass with tap water or drink some water from a plastic bottle. After all, water is water, right? Magnetized water is popular in Japan. But before we get to know its properties, it is important to understand how and what happens to magnetized water. If you take some water to analyze, you will notice that its molecules are disordered. This is because of the minerals. When submitted to magnetic fields, the molecules turn back into their normal state, which makes the water more beneficial to our health since it heightens the energetic balance of the body and strengthens the immune system in general. That's why magnetized water helps prevent many diseases of the human body. Did you know that more than 70% of our bodies are formed by water? We need to replenish water to eliminate toxins from the body, hydrate tissues and cells, help the kidneys, facilitate blood flow, to fight bloating and boost immunity. Some of the benefits of magnetized water are: helps in nutrition and hydration of cells, aids in cell cleanse, reduces blood acidity and the excess of free radicals in the body, increases the oxygen in cells and blood, makes the hair softer, moisturizes the skin, leaving it soft and healthy, aids in the prevention of many diseases, lowers blood sugar levels, preventing diabetes, helps prevent many types of cancer, reduces the risk of osteoporosis and fractures by increasing the bone density and bone resistance, avoids premature aging, increases energy levels. According to studies published by the National Institutes of Health, USA, drinking magnetized water means more quality of life. If you already knew about magnetized water, tell us what you think.
Yes, my friends, we are going to be telling you exactly what we think about that. We think it's amazing, right? So let's look at this. We have this H2O, which is water, as you know, and we have this dissociation takes place. OH minus, which is hydroxide ions, and hydrogen ions, H plus. So when you have this, you have these clusters that get left behind. Now, when you add minerals to the mix, my friends, you're going to see this reaction called hydroxide ions. So we've got calcium and magnesium. Our bodies, our cells need these things, right? So this forms an alkaline hydroxides. So again, when consuming this water, this magnetized water, it reduces the body's acidity. Now, my friends, let me ask you a question. Can it be that easy? Is it that simple? By having this component that I just mentioned, this formula, which Otto Heinrich spoke about over 100 years ago, about reducing the body's acidity. And what I'm sharing with you tonight, could it be that simple? By drinking your water and adding something to the mix could do something that will help your body in that manner. Something to think about. So the other thing we spoke about, right, was the free radicals. Now, I've not forgotten about that. So we have H2O, OH minus, remember, and H plus, right? Those clusters. Now, what happens with those free radicals in your body? The excess free radicals. When you drink this water, my friends, the hydrogen ions react with the excess free radicals in your body, forming water. So again, you get this neutralization of it taking place. You know, it reminds me of that game Pac-Man, right? You go around and you kind of zap and you pick up your points along the way. You know, the game in the 80s, showing my age there. This is what happens, my friend. When you start drinking this water, trust me, you're not just going to be sitting down, guzzling down this water and nothing happens to you. You know, there's a way in which you want to drink this water for sure. And if you're like me, anything like me, I'm not talking like nice, charming and good looking. I'm just saying anything like me in terms of drinking water, because I wasn't drinking a lot of water, my friends. I was barely drinking the recommended amount just to get through. And then, it was clear. You know, when I went to the washroom, it looked more like Lucozade than it did water. So I was definitely on the wrong scale of things, right? So when I got introduced to this water, my friends, I could not stop drinking this. And it got me out my seat. You know, somebody who's in front of his screen a lot, I got up at my screen. I needed to go to that washroom. I needed to move my body, my friends. We are designed that way, you know, and they say the new form of smoking is what? Sitting. We're sitting too long. Yeah, we're sitting on our rusty dusty. So we need to get up and move. And trust me, you drink this, there's no qualms about it. You know, I can bet you that you're definitely going to be moving and going to that washroom because it has that detoxing effect. You know what I just spoke to you about? The neutralizing effect of free radicals. Where do you think that's going? It's coming out of you. And we want that to be coming out of you, right? We don't want it to be sitting around in your body. You know, just like toxic people. You don't want them around you, right? You want get rid, go, leave. Don't be around my presence. So did you know our bodies are made up of at least 70% of water? And that's really like the minimum, right? The water we drink is really crucial. The amount of water is crucial. Like I said, I wasn't drinking enough. I knew I should have done better in the amount of water I was drinking, but I wasn't, you know. And it's just like you filling up your car, right? Where you look at your engine, you bought this beautiful car, right? It's immaculate inside and out. And you go into the engine and it's just dirty, it's filthy. It's like, wow, what's happened? And you just pour anything into the radiator. You don't even pour water in it, you just pour some sugary drink. How far is your car going to get you? I'm going to ask you the same question. How far is your body going to get you? So there's one thing, pouring enough water into it. How about the quality? Now, this gentleman here, never doctor, he spoke about water determines disease, determines health, appropriate adequate water restores health. Ionized water hydrates, alkalizes, antioxidizes, and detoxifies. Water can be used as a medicine. I'm looking around for a book that I always talk about, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And my friends, this is the real crux of it, right? So water, there is a difference between water that does not hydrate against water that does hydrate. All right? You think there's not a difference? I'm going to show you, it's really clear for you to see that there's a massive difference between just drinking your regular water, which I was doing up until this point, up until this age of where I am at, you know, in 2026, never heard of or never tried magnetized water with this company, and my goodness, the results have just been staggering. So, you know, water should be moving, right? It's vibrant. It should be vibrant. It shouldn't be just sitting in a warehouse somewhere for months and years at a time. So, what happens when your water that you do finally get from your wherever you buy it from, whether it's the supermarket or the off license or whatever, what is the state of the water that you spent good dollar on, good pounds on, good lira on, whatever, and you start drinking it? This gentleman is going to talk about that. So sit back, I'll be back in a minute.
First, the water that most people drink has lost its original structural characteristics from when it was alive in nature. In springs, streams, and rivers, water is constantly moving. This favors its oxygenation, in addition to its structure being composed of small molecules, which increases its hydration power in the body. When water is stored or kept in containers, its surface tension is altered. Thus it becomes much heavier, with the formation of large molecule clusters, which are completely disorganized and lose oxygen. This molecular change compromises the penetration of water into cells that form organ tissues. But the original characteristics of water, so necessary for a good cellular hydration, can be restored. This is where magnetic treatment comes in. When water is subjected to a magnetic field, an event called hydrolysis occurs, which means breaking up of water. That is, the movement caused by the molecules causes a rupture of the clusters and promotes rearrangement into much smaller structures. Thus, these H2O molecules penetrate the cells much more easily, promoting better cellular hydration and cleaning. The second point observed in the various studies carried out with magnetized water is that it contributes to a reduction of excess of free radicals. How does this happen? When water undergoes magnetic treatment, there is an ionic dissociation, that is, the H2O water molecule formed by 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom breaks up, releasing hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. Excess free radicals that are present in the body are negative ions, and they combine with hydrogen ions, forming new H2O molecules, thus removing them from the body. This is a very simple chemical equation that has been observed by several researchers. The third point is about the contribution to the maintenance of blood alkalinity, helping the mechanisms of our body. In hydrolysis, as we have seen, there are negative hydroxyl ions left over. This hydroxyl reacts with magnesium and calcium ions present in vital environments of our body, forming alkaline hydroxyls, in this case magnesium and calcium hydroxyls. These reactions help in the maintenance of blood pH and oxygen content. It is for all these reasons that water treated magnetically helps in the maintenance of good health.
There you go, my friends. Hopefully that gave a good insight into how this works. I'm going to basically back this up to what he was just saying there. So we have that entry point, our cells. You know, we want our cells to receive nutrients, need to be hydrated, we need oxygen in those cells. I think that's really critical. So when we have that hard water, our water that has got that clusters, then you can't even see, right? And you're starting to drink it and you're not feeling fully hydrated. You're not feeling, after you're drinking it, you're still like, man, I'm thirsty. Why am I still thirsty? Probably because your cells aren't really getting all the benefits of the water that you're drinking. Okay, so that's what happens when water does not hydrate, as I mentioned earlier. Now, when you have magnetic treatment, you're breaking those clusters down. It's nice, lighter. It's lighter. One thing I always keep hearing from people is how lighter the water tastes, how much better tasting, refreshing. For me, guys, it's not a problem drinking water now. I've gone from barely drinking, and if you're like 50 kg in weight, you need to be drinking at least 2 liters. I wasn't even drinking 2 liters a day. And so based on your body size, you should be drinking in accordance to it. And so that was me. That was where I was at. And so, this company here, they received their certification of being a real legit bona fide company doing magnetized water. This was back in 2014, and the company's been around now 22 years. So it just goes to show that this is no overnight gig. Now, I mentioned, even though tonight we're going to be diving into the income side of things, this, my friends, is the star of the show, right? I've always heard other companies, and I've been involved in other companies, and they'll be like, oh yeah, the product sells itself. And I'm like, yeah, which part? Does the product talk? But with this, guys, it does the talking, for sure. You give somebody a chance to try this water, and they will come back to you and say, wow, that was different. I noticed that. It's lighter, it's refreshing. Yeah, I know that. But then the after effects, which we're hearing, when people are saying, oh yeah, I've noticed this happen. And this is just through drinking the water. Like sometimes within 24 hours, I've had feedback like that. Not always, but I've had feedback like that. It's pretty mind blowing. And so Sylocimol, get to know that name if this first time you're hearing about it. This is the product that you want to know about very intimately, right? This is their combo mega product. This is Timol Super Water Magnetizer and Mineralizer. I always call it M&M, right? Magnet on one side, mineralizer on the other, minerals on the other, right? You call it my dynamic duo, my Batman, my Robin. This is the defense. This is what you can put in your body, and your body will just take it, absorb it, and does what the body does. So the body's people say, oh, this is a miracle. No, it's not a miracle. Your body's the miracle. Just feed it what it needs and just let your body receive it. A lot of times we're depriving our body of the very essence of what it needs to run properly. Okay. And so sometimes we feel like we need to eat, snack on something, and it's because our body may be hydrated, dehydrated. It wants something to drink as opposed to eat. So this model, this particular model is the mega one. This will treat up to 20 liters of water. So I'm going to show you some examples. We have the mini one, which will treat up to 3 liters. Okay, so depending on who you are, you know, how you go about, I'm going to show you some examples, but both of them will work the same way, right? The big one, the small one, doesn't matter. The magnet will last 30 years and the big one, just like it lasts 30 years in the smaller one, all right? And so 30 years, by the way, I don't want to skim over that. 30 years. We're talking about a product that you do not need to replace next month, next year. No, mark in your calendar 2029. No, sorry, not even 2029. Mark 30 years from now before you even need to think about that. I'm talking about the minerals, the green one. That lasts 3 years. And people say that it can last maybe up to 5 years. Guys, just mark in your calendar 3 years from now. I may need to replace my minerals, okay? And you'll see it because there's it's clear. You'll hear it because there's minerals in this. It's a dolomite stone that is put in there, and it's got the calcium and the minerals, magnesium in there. And guys, the effects of that are amazing, all right? It's alkalines the body, the blood. It increases bone mineral mass. I think that was a big thing for me when my pain that I was having for years was having in my hip. I believe the bone mineral mass was a major contributor in reducing that pain. In fact, to a point where I don't even feel it. Sometimes I'm doing some crazy moves, and at my age, I probably shouldn't be. And I'm like, my God, I feel so good, like, you know, 10 years younger, for real. Increasing blood oxygenation, and increasing minerals in water. Guys, by what I mentioned, the green one, all right? The two of them work together. Some people may have heard of magnetized water before, but they've not heard of Timol. Do not compare Timol to another company out there. For sure, the results are not even going to be close. I'll tell you that. From what I've seen here, unbelievable testimonials for people taking this product. So let's just look here. You know, as we get older, people age, osteoporosis, aging, brittle bones, things of that nature. It's vital that their bone minerals how are you going to receive it? How are you going to get it? A lot of the times it's a challenge. Drinking water, which is the basic necessity of life. What about these different options? We have the, you know, you can go get it put in your water jug. You have these different dispensers out there, your water bottle, you know, whatever method you use, down to you. So versatile. Take it with you. The ones I take with me, it's a travel one. It's a portable one. I travel, I take that, and that's how I started to use it. And this goes with me everywhere I go. Even when I really don't need to have it with me, I make sure I have it with me. You know, just in case I stay out longer and I'm like, man, I need some water. I do not want to just go and get any regular water. I want my water from Timol with me. Timol is recognized internationally. A lot of research done on it. This gentleman is the gentleman behind it. You know, 20 years, 22 years now in the business. And this gentleman here, Carlos Enrique, is the gentleman behind it. The CEO, the guy who formulated this from day dot, and is still here today. So testimony to that. You know, we're expanding in so many countries around the world, which is incredible, that we are just barely getting started. And it's 22 years down the road. It's funny enough, we've got 22 people on the Zoom. So important, guys. This product is not intended to cure disease, all right? Rather to magnetize your water, all right? Just simple as that, all right? We're not coming out there and, you know, saying we are now the new doctors and we're going to replace your medication for this. No, just take your water and let it help reduce free radicals and let it help reduce the acidity in your body. You know what? As a result of doing that, you may find, you know, if you crave sugary, snacky stuff like I pretty much loved, your need for it will just diminish, just naturally, you know, because your body's not craving that anymore. It's craving water, and just it's amazing what you can replace by doing that. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a point where I'm going to switch gears in a minute, but I do want to show you the effects of drinking this water on the body. Now, some of these examples, you may be like, when I first saw this, I was like, no way. And as I got around and learning more about this product, I was like, oh my goodness, these are for real. So I'm going to show you some static ones. We ain't got time to go into the video ones. On Thursday, my friends, we'll be hearing live from people. But I just want to show you some examples here. This is somebody here with an ulcer, yeah, skin ulcer. This is the before, and this is 8 years with this particular condition, 25 days later, drinking the water and bathing it with the wound. So you can put this water on your face, you know, if you've got certain thing. I've got a lady who I met who runs a shop near me, and she had this big burn on her hand, and you know, it's clear that she was cooking and you know, got it burnt in the oven. And I just saw it, and I thought, man, I'm gonna have to help this lady out. So I just put in a little bottle, my friends, a little water bottle, spray bottle from the dollar store, and boom, I told her, spray this, you know, just don't dry it, just leave it on your hand and let it go. I came to her shop 2 days later, and the size of the burn mark was reduced. And I said, yeah, I said, you know, you want more information, I'll send you blah blah blah. Anyway, she went on to buy the mega combo unit for her home, because I see her when she was walking, she wasn't walking like freely. It's like, hey, you've got some kind of, what's going on there, you know? And I said, listen, I don't know if it will work for you, but it worked for me. That's all I can say, and it's worked for many others. And then she ended up buying the product. So now I'm going to check in with her. She's got other people that's, you know, we all know people that are their health may not be the best, and so we've got a product that's very cost effective, my friends. And if you want to know how much it costs and all that, just get back to whoever's invited you on. They'll be able to tell you what it is in your local currency, as we have an international audience on hand. This one here kind of always blows me away when I see this one here, and we've got, you know, I've got the video on this, and I am going to convert the video because it's in Portuguese. I'm going to convert it one of these days, so because I want to hear the story as to how long and what was going on. I mean, that's pretty severe, guys. So again, we've got so many testimonials on every letter of the alphabet. Maybe not Z, but we've got pretty much every letter on the alphabet covered. If there is a dis-ease of the body, and that's all it is, it's not this is going to go and cure anything. No, it's just your body needing it. And once your body gets it, just watch the miracle happen in front of your eyes. With that said, my friends, I'm going to stop the share here. I'm going to quickly check if there's any messages of any sorts, because I'm going to switch the gears, guys. We're going to be talking about money in a minute. Okay, it's a Monday, so we're going to go into our compensation model. I want to check. I do see there was a brand new person on the call. Alicia, welcome to our call. Great to have you on here. Where are you dialing in from? Are you somewhere in this planet, or you're on another planet somewhere, another galaxy, somewhere out this world? Don't mind me, I'm not taking my medication. But good to know that you're on a call with us today, and I hope you found this information of importance, of help. Now, like I said, guys, it's a Monday. So on a Monday, we're going to dive into the money, right? Show me the money, my friends. You know, if our health is getting better, or you may not be here because you've got a challenge with your health, but if we can keep our health at an optimal level, right, as we age. I know that there's a heat wave in every country. Like, I keep hearing, oh my gosh, it's so hot in the UK, I can't even sleep. I'm like, really? And I know it's happened now and then. It's hot like crazy here, hot like crazy in the US. It's hot in Europe. I mean, you know, it's hot, right? And sometimes these powers that be try and make it hotter than it is, but it is what it is. We are by far I don't care what product you are doing. I don't care even what you're doing to make your money, your livelihood, Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, if you do it 7 days a week. One thing you do not want to do is do it at the expense of your health. Okay? And my friends, if you're looking for a product that every single person understands and needs, every single body requires it to function, just like your cell phone, anybody who's got a charger, you know, that's why that you don't need to be the person manufacturing the product. You could be the one that's doing the accessory. Of course, you didn't, you know, our parents made us, right? But then what do we need to operate on a daily basis? We need water. So again, the monopoly on that is going to be taken by all of these companies, which is great because they're not doing a great job, guys. All right. We know we need water, and we need quality water. This product just literally ticks all the boxes, right? We have problems with the bottled water, with the microplastics. That's going into our brains, causing more challenges than you thought it would solve. It's a real mess out there, right? So here we go. We want good filtered water. Let's not mistake that. If you've got good filtration, the company had some units. There's units that you may know yourself. Just get good quality water into your household, and then add this bad boy to the mix, and then it's a different ball game, right? So we're going to talk about transforming your life here. I saw this product, and all I would, I just wanted to know, does the product work? I can share this with people, but I can't share something if I know the product's no good, if it's all a bunch of lies, hogwash. We live in a day and age where, you really got to be careful with what people are telling you, because people love to lie, right? So we're talking about transforming your health with Timol. So look at this. We have a whole career plan. If somebody want to go like full on and make this their full-time gig, you can make good money here without a question of a doubt. I mentioned we are right now, we're literally, there's no market in the whole of this beautiful world we're in that's dominated by Timol. The market is open regardless of what country you're in. You could be in Brazil. The market is wide open, right? And I just thought about this. The World Cup is on my doorstep. My God, why did I not even think about creating some? Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Anyway, my days. So we're talking about a whole career plan here, guys, that you can benefit from and build an income from. So let's have a look at this. This is a business proposal. We spoke about Timol being a company to help change your life. Let's look at how that can do that on a financial basis. So we've taken care of the health. Hope that's kind of clear now, why this is such an essential part of your regimen. Again, I love there's so many great companies out there in our industry, in our wellness industry, in network marketing or the direct sales or whatever the industry. It's fantastic companies out there. And guess what? All of them, bar none, all need water for you to consume them. And it's like, okay, you got the best product out there, fantastic. What are you drinking to go with it? Tap water? Drinking this water? Hello, drink this with it and let the product work even better. So guys, we've got it, right? Whether you know it or not, we have it. We have the product that everybody needs. They just don't know about it. Now, we have two different ways or two different methods in which you can receive some money from here, okay? We have about 6 different income streams, but we've got 2 different methods, and one of them is leverage, okay? We're going to leverage our time and our contacts by this team building method, all right? Now, that might irk some people. That might even put some people off. Oh, it's one of those. No, it's not one of those. It's what the rich do. They leverage their time and their money, which is why they can be anywhere in the world and they're still making serious money. I used to work at Goldman Sachs back in the day, and the CEO or the MD, actually, the MD was on a salary of like $1, and he was bringing home like more money than you could even count. It was ridiculous, So there's many different ways of making money, but we were taught one way, linear. You need to go out, find a good job and work 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day or whatever you want to work. But there's a limit to that, right? So that is one way. The other way is direct sales. People like and trust. You tell them about this product and they're like, oh yeah, that could really do with that. And you sell it to them, and guess what? You get paid instantly, right? So there's 2 methods, and whichever one you may not be into sales, fine, but trust me, we're all selling something. We're all recommending something. We're just getting paid for it. As simple as that. I would tell somebody about this even if there wasn't a pay plan attached to it. It's because it's such a great product. Simple. And I'm sure you're the same, right? You'll tell somebody about it anyway. It doesn't matter if there's a commission check attached to it. Just happens that there is. So we've got for me, a superior model than what we've been told to believe. We have the traditional business, the industry, the wholesaler, the distribution method, the supermarket, the consumer. You could be part of that. You might work in a warehouse, you might work in a supermarket, but guys, you can do anything you're currently doing and have this on the side and make an income that gives you that extra what you need. Now, this is how it works. We deal directly with the company and our customers deal directly with us. No messy stuff. Nobody knowing who is my customer if they don't want it. Just you. You are the source and you make it happen. The company deals with you and you deal with your customer. Very straightforward. All right. Very straightforward model. This is a franchise model as opposed to you being a network marketer with a self-replicated website. There's millions of companies out there that do that. This company has got a different approach and a different model. Now, which is a great advantage to every single one of us, just to make that clear. For a company that's been around 22 years and is on point with what they're doing and are still here today, which nobody even knows about, that's a massive advantage to every single one of us that are looking to share this with people. Now, I'm going to show you a really basic example of you sharing it with a friend, family member, or whatever, just posting it on your status. I post stuff on my status and I get people saying, oh, what's that all about? You know, I don't necessarily always talk to somebody about it, but they see it. So whichever method you use that you're comfortable with, if you're a marketer, great. But you do this and you get 2 in a day, right? In the morning and in the evening. You share it with 2 people. Not talking about you having to do a Zoom and, you know, get on and do a presentation and, you know, vomit all this information over them. No, you share some information and they pique their interest. You might know them are going through some stuff financially or health-wise, and you may, hey, I've seen something that may be of interest to you. Share some information, they come back to you, and you've done that in the morning. You do the same thing in the evening, and you're done for the day. If you do that Monday to Friday, give yourself the weekend off, right? Monday to Friday, twice a day. Don't know how many minutes that is, but it's not a lot of minutes. And you end up exposing the product to 40 people in that given week, right? Monday to Friday, right? So, sorry, in that month. So two a day, yeah. 10 one week, 10 the other week. For the whole month, 40 exposures. Now, out of that, I'm going to just give you an example with one of the products, the big one, the Mega Combo, which I don't have to hand. The bigger combo, because that one has a way of reducing the amount of cost that's in it and increasing your profit margin if you sell more than 5 of them and have at least 2 franchisees in your business. There's a little caveat to it, right? But let's say you've done that and you're now receiving 180 euros every time you sell this Mega Combo unit. So let's say you did 1 a week, all right? You're consistent every week, you sell at least 1. That's fantastic. And at the end of the month, you ended up with 720 euro. Like I said, wherever country you're in, just work out the difference in your local economy. 720 euros you end up making. Let's say you did 3 a week and you ended up with over 2,000 at the end of that month. 2,000 euros by sharing and selling 3 in a week. All right. There's some people that are knocking this out. They're obviously doing way more than that. And some people doing less than that. And let's say you are just really, you know what, you're just like, you know what, I'm just making this my gig, my jam. I'm forgetting some other stuff, and I'm just gonna get this word out. And then you ended up selling at least 5 in a week, which is fantastic, right? So 5 of them in a week, and you end up with over 3,000 euros. Now this is serious money, guys. Whether it's 720 euros in a month or over 3,000 euro in a month, I can tell you this. For you wanting to be part of what we're doing, what I'm doing, what Simone's doing, what Harold's doing, what Augusta's doing, you can be made whole within your first month, okay? For your financial outlay, which we'll talk about in a minute, just by what I've just shown you there, with a very simple example, you could be made whole and even in profit. We know in the traditional business, right, where you have to maybe take a loan out, maybe mortgage your house or use it as collateral to set up a normal franchisee, guys. Yeah, you're talking about a different ball game and a different set of pressure to get yourself even to break even point. I'm showing you a business that you can start for under $1,000, right, and be profitable by the end of that month. You put it on a card, for example. By the time the card is due to be paid, you could be in profit and pay off the card. I mean, this is what we're talking about here, right? It doesn't have to be a long thing. Excuse my slang. So refer and earn. You share this and other referrals come on board, right? They want to do what you're doing. They may not necessarily want to do a presentation and stuff like that, but they want to get their product at wholesale. Let's just be real. They want to get their product at the cheapest possible price, and they know other people who can benefit from taking this product. So they come on board as a silver franchisee. You will earn 80 euro. You know, so they buy it, the company rewards you, say thank you for this customer, because they're not spending money on advertising. No, all the money they would have normally done on radio ads and TV ads and Facebook ads, you're the one who can do that, because they're going to pay you the money and you say, oh, I just made 80 euros. I can maybe use some of that for advertising or put that back in my business. Because I'm telling you guys, if you're not at the platinum level, which is the top of the tree, you want to wake your way up to that level, because you earn more money for doing the same thing as you did when you joined as maybe if you joined as a silver. So we'll talk about those options at the end. If somebody came on board and they came on board as a gold franchisee, that means you earn double the money, which is great for you, right? You earn double the money because it's more money for them to join, more money for you, and I'll tell you exactly why they would want to do that. And then the platinum version is the highest package. Again, similar thing. The money just doubles, okay? And as somebody comes into the product, into our environment, they come at one level, they can upgrade themselves, and you earn again, and they upgrade, and then you earn again. All right, so it doesn't stop just because they came at the silver. Every level they upgrade to, you're earning again from the company. Okay, so one thing I like about this whole, whoops, why is this not working? One thing I like about this whole industry is leverage, right? So you are like every single one of us. I don't care who we are. All right, we could be the richest man on the planet, or the poorest person living underneath a shelter unit somewhere, right? Every one of us have got 24 hours in a day, all right? None of us are blessed with 25, 27. Now, how can we earn more money if we're all limited? Why do some people make extraordinary amounts of money? And, you know, there's many different reasons. One of them is that they've figured it out. It's a system. If you're the only way that you're making money right now is earning money in a linear fashion, exchanging time for money, then there's a limit to that, right? Like I mentioned earlier, you can only physically do so much of that before you're just spent. Your body can't take it anymore. You can't do it anymore. And there's, you know, the knock-on effect. So when you start this as a part-time entity, all right, and you share it with somebody, and then they share it with somebody, you're now earning leveraged income. You knew the person that you might even know. You might not even not know the people that you're personally introducing it to. You could be posting, you could be doing whatever, and somebody comes to you and say, you know what? I like what I see. I need to get my hands on that. How can I get involved? And they decide to join the business, and then they share it with their environment, their warm market. You get paid on that, okay? Just for you starting this whole thing, you get paid on that. I'm going to show you the power of that in a minute. So there's a fast start bonus that gets paid when somebody buys their franchise. Again, these are people that you didn't personally introduce, but if two new, you know, you get this requirement, two new people join, registers within the first 45 days of you getting started. It's like a fast start bonus. They're going to reward you for, you know, getting out the gate. There's other bonuses that you can earn. Again, we're not going to go into the total specifics on each of these bonuses because it's a lot of information, and information overload is just like, you know, we're just talking for the sake of it. But I want to show you something really crucial here. When you have this company, they make the requirements for you to earn all of from the top to the bottom, right? Black diamond, which is the peak of the levels. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, it says here you need 3 active directs, 3, right? Not 3 every single level interaction. So from leader all the way to black diamond, these are the different requirements you will need, the amount of different lines that take place. But the bonuses are just, you do your 3, and I wouldn't keep your 3 as the maximum. Don't make their minimums be your maximum, but that is what you can maintain. Start with your 3 and build from there. Of course, it starts with 1, but then what I'm saying is to benefit from that bonus. So we have a binary bonus. That means a team on the left and a team on the right. We also have a uni-level bonus. So we have these kind of industry standard bonuses on how you can earn money. So I'm going to talk about this bonus here, giving you an example. If somebody comes into the business and they come in as a gold franchisee, right? You're going to earn 36 euros for that. You know, you signed them up. You're also going to earn what the uni-level bonus is because they're direct to you. Now, the uni-level bonuses are the ones I showed earlier, the 80 euro, the 160, or the 322. So you add that to the uni-level bonus that you earned from signing them up, okay? So this is your what you call your binary bonus. When you get, and this example just shows you with 4 people introduced into the business, 4 people, all at this level. All right, this is in reality, you're going to have some at silver, you're going to have some at platinum, but the great thing is, guys, as they upgrade from one level to another, you're going to get paid again. Okay, you're going to get paid another franchisee bonus from gold to platinum. So 36 euros, which is great. Now, it's all about leverage, guys. It's about you then helping your guys that you introduced this to get themselves up and running and operational. And of course, you know, we're here, you know, we want to help everybody succeed in this. So you now start earning on your second level, your third level, your fourth. The likelihood of it is that you're not going to know these people for the most part. You may see them on the Zooms or whatever, but you didn't personally introduce them. And you might on your second level because you and your friends know the same people. But when you start digging down to the third, fourth, fifth, no chance, right? You're starting to expand in territories that you may not even travel to before. Does it matter? You may be in languages in countries that you've never spoken to before. Does it matter? No. Money is the same universal language. We get paid and we know what to do with it, right? So this is the power of leverage and a company that's been around 22 years. Because most companies, my friends, unfortunately, in this type of industry, they're gone after several years. They're gone. They're out of business. So this is a testament, guys. This makes this very unique than a lot of other deals out there. So what about this? This is a uni-level bonus, which I think is so powerful. This is residual income now. So residual is something that you do and one time, but you get paid over and over again from. All right. So I've got a cousin used to play in a group Jamiroquai many years ago. That group hasn't recorded in the longest time, right? But guess what? He still earns a commission more than a commission, a royalty check, I should say, every quarter for work he did many years ago. Unbelievable. So what about this? This is the same thing, guys. You started it off. You started the ball rolling, and every month somebody needs to purchase a product to remain active in their franchise, right? And we've got so many options, guys. It's ridiculous, right? But let's say you spent $40, $50 on a product. One month you might buy the magnet. Next month you might buy the minerals. Next month you might buy something else, right? The company has different options that we're not going to go into tonight. But you ended up doing that. And then the people that you brought into the business, you know, talk that down, and then those people did the same because they're all in business. They still want to remain active and with their points. We have a point score, and I'll show you the point system in a minute. Well, you want to, you know, make sure you don't lose out on those points because your business could be growing and you don't want to miss out on it, right? But I love this. This company doesn't have that stipulation of, oh, if you didn't do that, then you lose all you've done. No, it's not one of those companies. It's very fair. It's very fair in how they've gone about doing their business and the requirements to remain active in the business. So this $2.27, which you might think is just not insignificant in whatsoever, it mounts up because you spend those same people that were on levels 5, 6, 7 and stuff like that. Just look at your level 4, for example. That's an extra $581. Now, if you're counting, this is another income stream, right? I don't know which one we're up to. Are we up to number 4? I'm not sure. Remind me. Level 5, you have 1,000 people on that level. That's an extra 2,000 euros. Can you imagine, guys? Just something you started, and now just through earning $2.27 and I'm just talking about one product, the mega combo. I'm not talking about the mini. I'm not talking about anything else. Just one product here we're talking about. And if you're platinum, guys, platinum, emerald, your bonuses double, right? So we're going to talk about platinum, emerald bonuses and why you want to stay locked in, guys. So same amount of work, like I mentioned, same amount of work, but you're earning more. So your franchisees, these are your costs, 840 euro to get started. It's about 999 US dollars, about 760 odd quid in the UK. That's a silver membership. That comes with the mega combo, the one we've been talking about. All right. You can do whatever you want with it. It's yours. You can retail it, but I wouldn't from day one. I would use it, have it, sample it, use it to sample with people, etc., etc. Right. So you will have your own product testimonial. Of course, unless you want to buy a mini one for yourself and then sell the mega, it's up to you. You've got many options. Now, if you want the best of both, you've got the gold. You're going to have the mini and you're going to have the mega. Okay, slightly more money, but guess what? You're going to be earning more from the compensation plan. Not just the fact that you get the 2 products, which is great, but you're going to earn more bonuses in the comp plan from day dot. And then the platinum is the top echelons. It's 2,460 euro That earns you the most money in the comp plan. And again, that is something to aspire to. So you might come in at the silver and say, all right, let me make a little bit of money first. Use that money to upgrade to the gold. Let me use a bit of that extra money now. That will earn you money quicker because you're now making more money or as a gold than you would at a silver. And then you can bridge the gap and upgrade to platinum. Of course, if you've got the money to do it, just come in at platinum. Yeah, just go straight in. But if you haven't, stair step your way there to success. Right. So, like I mentioned, we have a whole career plan here, guys, that can really take you from where you are to where you may want to be with Timol. Now, I mentioned that franchise fee. Let me just go back again, guys, real quick. This is a one-time fee, guys. We're not asking you to pay a monthly, a yearly fee on that franchise fee. That is it. You are now locked in with the company to do business with the corporate office for you to be able to access these products at wholesale price, for you to be out there, be able to retail this and make the difference. You're now locked and loaded. So that is what you are paying for. Okay. And then again, we are, you know, where the company itself, they want to see a presence. They want to build up an international office. Remember, they've been in Brazil mainly all of their life, 22 years, right? It's only the last several years that they've come out of that country. You know, Simone's been involved in the company 4 years, and as a result of that, there's a lot of business taking place in English-speaking countries. And so, you know, they want the UK to be a base for them, right? So, and again, there's lots of talks and discussions on how we can make that happen and make things, you know, better and smoother. So we're at the pioneering stage, guys. It's fantastic to be at that point where we've got the company's ear and, you know, they're established, but may not be established outside of Brazil. So this is what we want. We want the next 22 years to be, you know, that springboard. It took 22 years to build that solid foundation where they've got testimonials galore. Now, let's see what the next 22 years is going to look like, right? And you can all be part of that story if you choose to. So this is a career plan. It says here, dream and achieve. So when you come into this business, as you put your money down and say, yep, I want this product. And again, some people just don't even want the business. They just want the product at a better price. And that might be you. So, you know what? I've got a few family members. You know what? Let's just get the franchise. And then, you know, I can, you know, make a little bit of retail on the product as well. And if they want to do it themselves, they can sign up as a franchisee. So we all come in as a consultant. Silver, gold, or platinum. You choose where you fit in. Okay. Now, to be a distributor, there is a distinction because we want to help you get the best for your buck. As I mentioned, if you sold 5 of those mega combos and you had at least 2 directs, which is people that you've personally introduced into the business, you get the price at a discounted price. Okay. So, and there's many different variants of that. You can have 2 directs and one of them refers 2 directs. That could qualify you. Or you could just have 4 directs. And then that puts you in that mix. So again, there's different variants of it for you to qualify at that method. But by far, if you can do the retail and just have your 2 directs, then you're good to go. So you go from that to a leader spot. Okay. Now, leader is somebody, again, silver, gold, and platinum. You've got now 3 directs. Remember, don't make their minimums your maximum. But with 3 directs, guys, you're now going to earn an additional 25% on the unit level. Remember what I said on the unit level price, 80 euros, 160, but you're now going to earn an additional on the unit level. So if you didn't think that was enough, you can do your own pay upgrade. Some people never receive a pay grade upgrade in forever, you know, and unions are fighting over the smallest of percentage. You can be your own upgrade without having to have a committee going for it. And again, you're going to get rewarded. This company earns in points. So when you sign up a franchisee, you earn points. When you sell a mega combo, a mini combo, you earn points. These points stack up. Somebody brings somebody else into the business, you earn points. All those points stack up, guys. And as Bruce Forsyth would say, what do points make? Prizes. Absolutely. So this earns you up to your 5th level, this additional 25%. Now, we go from that to a ruby. Now, what's a ruby? You now need to qualify for ruby, you now need to upgrade from a silver to gold. So if you came in at silver, at that point, you should have been making a bit of money from the business, because you've now, you've been in, you've done this, right? You've gone from distributor to leader, which is 3 directs. So you would have made money on those directs. Of course, you could use that money to pay back the credit card bill or whatever method. But if you feed it back into your business, it's just going to pay you back more over the long term. So qualifies you from gold and platinum. Again, 4 directs now, which is what we're here, and then maintain at least that. Guys, 50% of uni-level earnings is now added to the mix, and you get points again up to your 5th level. So you can have somebody who's referred somebody all the way down to your 5th level, and you're going to bank those points. Okay. Now, if you now got business going past your 5th level, you want to make sure you upgrade to the emerald. And don't forget, if you're in a country, they're not going to just send you over a pool projector. They'll just give you the cash equivalent, right? So that they don't have to pay the shipping and all that kind of stuff. So if you're an emerald now, again, this is for gold and platinum members only. You have now 5 directs, and each of those are maintaining at least 2. So you want to help your 5, with your 2. You may do an event, you may, do something, and I know people are very creative, they come together and all this stuff. Very good to do. And now, guys, you're earning 100% of the uni level that we spoke about earlier. So we've gone from 25% additional earnings to 100% of uni level bonuses when you become an emerald. More money on the table, guys. Do not leave money on the table if you can help it. So again, you've got points down to your 6th level in the business. All right. And you can see that. You can track all this and log into your back office, and you can see, okay, I've got persons there and persons there. And sometimes when you drill down and you're like, oh my goodness, I've got people, that person told somebody who told somebody, and you're leaving money on the table and you may not even realize it. All right. So make sure you're actively logging in to your back office so you can see what's going. You won't get an email to say, hey, you're leaving money on the table. That is down to you to monitor that. Again, there's a reward. You can exchange your points to prizes, right? So again, you've got enough points, you can get the cash equivalent of what those points would have given you and buy your own gift. So when people say, oh, where you get that phone from? Oh, yeah, my business paid me, the one that, this water. You just say, oh, this water paid me. How did that do that? Oh my goodness, you got to get on our Monday Zoom, blah, blah, blah. Now the diamonds. Now the diamond levels are where, again, the peak of the bunch. This where you need to be a platinum, okay? A platinum franchisee. So up to this point, all good, all fine and dandy. You've gone as far as you can as a gold member, and now there's no negotiation. You need to upgrade to a platinum, right? And so this is where you need to you'll have at least 6, and 6 is really kind of key number here, guys. So this 6 will qualify you for every bonus in the comp plan. 6 personals, and each of them having at least 2, right? So again, 100% earning on the uni level. You got points up to your 7th level in the business, and now you're now earning 36% of the binary bonus. So the binary pays a certain percentage. You're now making 36% of that, and your binary pays on your weak leg. So if you have 2 working legs, one leg or one line is normally what we call a power leg or runaway leg. That normally has more volume in it going on, and then you need to kind of balance it up and say, oh, whoa, you know what, the next person I sign up, I'm going to put them on this side, because that's the side you get paid on. So you need to make sure that leg is going to be healthy as the other leg. Sometimes you just got to let it go because you've got so many leaders or volume or franchisees in that leg, but that's the goal. It's a balancing act. Whilst you're earning these uni-level bonuses and everything else, again, these points you can exchange for travel. So you don't have to exchange it for anything. You could just keep banking these points, keep banking them until it's reached a certain level. All right. And so diamond goes all the way to double diamond. Again, this is just like more points, right? More earnings on the binary. Okay. Again, just all of this now is all about maintenance. Okay. Not that you're in management mode or anything, but it's maintenance. You've got at least your 6. I would still have more. Still wouldn't make their maximums here, or their minimum requirements. My maximums, I would still share it and stuff like that, right? But help those get to their 3 in which way you can, and you earn down further down in the levels. Your binary bonus increases all the way up to um, 54%. So again, your percentage is increased. Your platinum, which is why you want to be a platinum when it's time to be there, because you're going to earn more money from the compensation plan, for sure. And then the points, of course, the points get bigger. But again, what I love about this company, guys, they keep the requirements the same: 6 directs, and then the requirements for 5-star diamond is you've got a certain amount of diamonds who are underneath you in the plan. So that is something that's going to happen over time, not going to happen overnight, which is fine. Again, the points rank down to your 15th level, all right, which is great because it's organic. It's not like, oh boom, 15th level day one. It's organically done. As your business grows, you're gonna be in step with it, because your business is going to just dictate that you upgrade yourself. You can stay at silver, but then it's like, oh well, I've made enough money, let me upgrade to gold. Now I've made enough money from gold, let me upgrade to platinum, and then your bonuses will just be that much more bigger. All right. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with a revolution in franchisees. We have franchisees all over the world. Like I said, this company now is 22 years young, and the next 22 years are going to just be on another level, because now we are now looking to set up a base in UK, and where we go from there, let's replicate that in different markets, okay, as we grow. So let me just see if there's any questions in the chat. Let me just see here. There is a chat here. There's a question here. And so let me have a look. 1 second. Where did that go? All right. Please help me understand the gradient, please. Do we just add the difference between the difference after? Why is that in the way? Okay. What do we just add the difference between the difference after what level you are on as to the other levels costing, or do you pay the full cost? Okay, no, so we never pay full cost. So we just pay the difference between one level and the other. So the nice thing about our back office, guys, is that when you log in and when you click the button, and to be honest, I should have upgraded by platinum by now, but I chose to use the money and actually buy product again, which is another thing you can do. You can use that money to buy more product and then use that money to do whatever, right? But when you're in your back office, it will tell you how much you need to upgrade, and it's there. And then if you've got the money in your account, you can literally just let them know, yeah, I'm ready to upgrade to the next level, and use the money that's in my account. So it's all there, it's all trackable, visible for you to see, and you just pay the difference, which is a great thing. So especially why I recommend to people, if you can get yourself to a point where you are at that level where you've qualified to get the product, the mega combo, at a cheaper price, and you've got at least 2 referrals, you're now you're benefiting from that. So there's going to be more money in the pot, as I showed at the beginning, more money in the pot for you to be able to earn that money from. Okay, so with that said, I don't see any more questions here. So guys, we are at the end of our call. We're just over the hour mark, which is what I like to keep these calls to. We do these calls every Monday on the business side, and then on Thursday, you're going to hear nothing about the business, guys. You're going to be hearing all about the product. Okay, so we have some amazing testimonials that we will hear from other people in the business. I don't know if it's Harold. Did you want to say something? I saw you unmuted.
Hi, so I just come back from Tai Chi, so I've just got in the back end.
Okay,
I just
cool,
come,
cool.
in. Yeah, so
All right. This man is armed and dangerous, and so don't dance anywhere near him on the dance floor. He might take you out. It might be intentional, but he will just say it's an accident. Yeah. So he's dancing like crazy now. He's got the water at his disposal. Can you pass on your Yes, you can actually pass on your franchise as well. So that is something, when you're setting it up, you can actually set it up so that it's actually in somebody's name as well. But yeah, that can be done. That can be changed and modified if you want to
winnable,
pass.
saleable,
Yeah.
and transferable.
Yeah, exactly. So again, even though we may be living longer with the water, at some point we may need to pass that on to somebody else, and give them the blessing of our business. But it's a fantastic way to build a business, and And like any business, you know, you want to build it to a point where it's got a ton of value in it. And so if you can build your business up to the platinum level and it's earning that residual income, like I mentioned, then it's going to be of massive value to somebody who may want to take that on as a business. So with that said, my friends, hope to see you all on Thursday. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, let's pack out these meetings where you have such an amazing product on our hands. And whilst the weather is blessing you with crazy heat, take it to your advantage. Yeah, use it to your advantage and share. Take your water bottle with you and don't leave home without it. I know Harold doesn't. All right. So with that said, take care and I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless you all.